Hello guys, this is Paul McWhorter with TopTechBoy.com, and we're here today with episode number 3 in our incredible new tutorial series where you're learning how to think like an engineer using the Arduino R4 Wi-Fi board. What I will need you to do is pour yourself a nice tall glass of ice cold coffee. That would be straight up black coffee poured over ice. No sugar, no sweeteners, none needed. And as you're pouring your coffee, as always, I want to give a shout out to our friends over at Sunfounder. Sunfounder is actually sponsoring this most excellent series of video lessons. And in this class, we will be using the Sunfounder Elite Explorer Kit. Now, if you guys don't have your gear yet, take a look down in the description. There is a link over to Amazon. You can hop on over there and pick your kit up. And believe me, your life and my life are going to be a whole lot easier if we are working on identical hardware. But enough of this shameful self-promotion. Let's jump in and talk about what I am going to teach you today. What I'm going to do is I'm going to show you my solution to the homework assignment that I gave you in lesson number 2. But I must pause and ask, how many of you guys were successful? If you were successful, leave a comment down below. I am legend, double chest bump. If you were not successful, leave a comment down below. I folded up like a cheap Walmart lawn chair. Now, hopefully most of you guys got it because it was really kind of a combination of what I had taught you in lesson number 1 and taught you in lesson number 2. And what your assignment was to go out and build a little circuit with an LED and then to blink that LED from the Arduino. Now, if we think, what did we do in lesson number 1? We blinked the onboard LED on the Arduino R4 board using pin 13. So we learned how to turn a pin off and turn a pin on, and it was just convenient to blink the onboard LED. But really, if you think about what we're doing today, the code is going to be very, very similar. It's just instead of blinking the onboard LED, you're going to build a circuit with an LED in it. So what are you learning today? How to build a circuit, how to use a breadboard. I showed you last week how the breadboard works, so hopefully you were able to get it hooked up. And I do believe I asked you to transmit the old SOS signal, which is 3 short blinks followed by 3 longer blinks followed by 3 short blinks. Did-it-did, da-da-da, did-it-did. Did-it-did, da-da-da, did-it-did. That's SOS for you old ham guys, okay, as you already know. So let's jump in and let's see how we're going to do this. So we're going to come over here. I am going to get out of your way and we're going to look at the circuit that we developed last week. So what we know is from the Arduino we can get 5 volts, and we're going to get that 5 volts from pin 13. So this right here is starting at pin 13. Then I explained that the way you build these things, you've got to go from this abstract schematic to a physical implementation on a physical board. And the way I like to think about that is I like to think I'm in a little car and I'm driving around the circuit and I'm looking and seeing what I encounter. So I start here and then I start driving around, and what do I encounter? I encounter the long leg of the LED. Now remember, the long leg of the LED always has to go back towards the positive voltage, okay? You can't put this in either way. If you put it in backwards, it doesn't ruin the LED, but it won't light up. So we've got the pin 13 going to the long leg of the LED. We drive through the LED and we get to what? The other leg, the short leg of the LED. Short leg of the LED needs to connect to either leg of a 1,000 ohm resistor. What is the purpose of this resistor? It is to limit the current. And what we found is that you can only draw 8 milliamps of current from these input-output pins on the Arduino, and you've got to make sure that you don't do more than that because you could burn out your Arduino or you could burn out the LED. So we want to be very, very careful about that. So the short leg goes to one leg of the 1,000 ohm resistors, and the resistors are in your Arduino kit, your Sunfounder kit, and just make sure you get the one of the ones that's labeled 1,000 ohms. Then we drive through the resistor, we get to the other leg of the resistor, and what does it do? It comes back home to GND, to ground. Now you can see that these pins are labeled, so you can see that this one is labeled pin 13, and then very conveniently right next to it, you have one labeled GND. So now we've thought through it. Now let's go in and kind of do it. So where do we start? We start at pin 13. And so I'm going to get my red wire, because usually red represents positive voltage. So that's kind of just a good standard to use. And I'm going to come here and very carefully put that into pin 13. Pin 13 goes to what? It goes to the long leg of the LED. So what I've got to do is I've got to plug this LED into the breadboard, and I'm going to put the long leg back on this side, back towards the positive. The short leg can kind of go anywhere. I just find it convenient to like skip one column. So I've got the long leg in a column, I skip a column, and then I got a short leg in the column. Well, we want the long leg connected to what? We want it connected to pin 13. And so I need to put pin 13 where? In the same column as the long leg, the same column as the long leg of the LED, same column, okay? Now we come over to the short leg of the LED. That needs to connect to what? The resistor. So one leg of this resistor needs to go where? It needs to go in the same column as the short leg of the LED, like that, okay? Now remember, the LED has to go in the right direction. With the resistor, it can go in either way. There's not an important thing to direction with the resistor. Now we get down to the other leg of the resistor, which is this one. I'm putting this in the same column as that leg, so they're connected. And what do I need to do? I need to take this black wire and bring it on home to the GND pin, which I will show you here. And that goes in like that, okay? And now we are all hooked up. I bet the circuit is working now, so what do we need to do? We need to come over and we need to start working on the code. So you need to call up your Arduino IDE, and you need to open up what? You need to go to Examples, Basic, and you need to open up Bare Minimum. When you do that, you will end up with this. Now, what are we working with? We're working with one of the pins. So what do we need to do? We need to do a pin mode. Do we need to do it over and over, or do it once? We need to do it once. So where does it go? It goes in the void setup. So we need to put it between the open curly and the closed curly, between the open curly and the closed curly. And remember, this is just a comment. Arduino doesn't see it. This is just a comment. Arduino doesn't see it. When you put the // you're telling the Arduino to ignore that line. It's just to help you remember what you're doing. So this is ignored and this is ignored because we put those two slashes there. But we were talking about what? We were talking about pin mode. Remember that case is important. You have to do the case perfectly. It's lowercase pin with the M of mode uppercase. What are we doing a pin mode on? Pin 13. And what's it going to be? We are sending a voltage to it, so it is a output. If we were reading from it, it would be an input. Okay, and then our friend Mr. Semicolon. Let's just see if we can turn the light on. So I'm going to put down in the void loop, I'm going to do what? If I want to send that voltage to that pin 13 that's connected to my LED, I'm going to do what? A digital write. A digital write what? A digital write which pin? 13. And I want to do what? I want to go high with it. Okay. So now let's run this code, and I'll bring it over here and let you see this. You can watch what's happening, and I'm going to run this, and then let's see what happens. Let's make sure you can see what's going on down here. White is good, orange is bad, so we hope we don't see any orange. So we're going to run this thing with the little right arrow. It's going, and boom, we have an error. What does this say? Digital write? What? It says user app data pi4 bear dig write. What is that? Somebody tell me my mistake. Right, it's a typo. You have to write these things perfectly. Digital write with an E. 90% of the time that you have an error, you've made a typo. And when you look at it, it looks perfect to you. And you think that there was an E there, but there wasn't. Okay, so now I've corrected that. Now certainly it will run this time, so I'm going to run it. And what do I get? It still doesn't like digital write. What is this? It doesn't like digital write. Why does it not like that? Error status 1. Digital write was not declared. Digital write was not declared. Somebody tell me my mistake. Case, right? 90% of the time when it's not a typo, it is this typo. You didn't get your case right. Right? It's digital write with the W uppercase. Okay. So now let's run it. Okay. I think it's going to run. What? Excess status expected a token before a token expected. What? Somebody tell me what I did wrong. Forgot the semicolon. 90% of the time, yeah, you have an error. You forgot the semicolon or you made a typo. Okay. So this time we have the semicolon. This time we have the digital write right. We have the pen mode right. This time it should run. Okay, so let's run it. Denied. No device found on COM5. Somebody tell me what my mistake is this time. Why am I making these mistakes? Because you guys do. So why should I let you have all the fun? I'm going to start making the same mistakes you guys make because I see you making the same mistakes over and over. Someone tell me why this didn't work. Somebody tell me why this didn't work. It's not plugged in. Right? You got to have your little USB-C cable tied to your desktop computer, and you've got to plug it in. So now we plugged it in. Actually, I should say it's a good practice to build your circuit without having your board powered. And so really you kind of want to build your circuit without powering your board. That's a good practice. But now I have that connected. And so this time certainly it should work. So we're going to run it. And hey, once it starts with this, it actually compiled and it's sending it, and boom, look at that, we uploaded it. Now, if it didn't work that time, the other thing you've always got to make sure is that you're on the right COM. So you come to Tools, you come to Port, and make sure that you're selecting the COM port. Yours might not be 5, but it needs to be the one that is labeled Arduino Uno R4. And the other thing that you always want to check is just make sure that if you go to Tools and Board, and then you come to the Arduino R4 boards, that you are on the right board, which is the Arduino Uno R4 Wi-Fi for us, okay? But that all worked. And what do? We turn the LED on. What do we know now? We know that we put the circuit together right and that we're talking to our board. So that's good. Now, what do we want? We want 3 short blinks. So what am I going to do? I'm going to stay on for a small amount of time. So I'm going to say digital write. Okay, where am I going to write? 13? No. What am I going to do? What did I forget? Got to put the delay in. So how long do I want this on? I want it to stay on for, let's say, 1/10 of a second. So that's going to be 100. 100 milliseconds is 1/10 of a second. So it's going to stay on for 100th of a second. Then I want to what? Digital write. Now what do I want to do? I want to turn it off. So pin 13, we're going to take low. Okay, like that. Now what do I need to do? I need to wait again. 100. Like that. Don't forget the semicolon. Now it should do 3 quick blinks, and then I'm just going to put another delay of 1,000 of 1 second, just so I'll see 3 blinks and a wait. 3 blinks and a wait. So let's run this thing. And so there it goes. It's off to the races. Whoa. What did I do? Forgot the semicolon, right? Okay. So now It's off to the races, and it is going to upload this time. And so be watching this. And what do we have? Blink. And now blink. Blink, blink. What is wrong? What is wrong with this? 100, 100. I just turned it on and off once, so I'm getting one blink a second, one blink a second. What did I need to do? I needed to do this, what? 3 times, okay? So that's going to be on, off once, and now I'm going to paste those 4 lines of code. That's going to be on, off twice, and now I'm going to paste again, and that's going to be on, off 3 times. So it should go blink, 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 wait. Blink, 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 wait. So let's look at that, all right? Okay, so here we go. Okay, blink, 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 wait. Blink, 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 wait. Blink, 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 wait. Blink, 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 wait. Okay, so that looks good. So what do I have? I have my di. Now I need my da. Okay, I've got my di. I need my da. So this is on, off once, on, off twice, and then on, off 3 times, and then the long delay. Okay, so now let's come in here, and we're going to want to do this same thing, so I'm just going to copy this. Okay, I'm going to copy that, and I'm going to paste it again right before that long delay. Okay, like that. But this time I'm going to what? I'm going to wait longer. I'm going to make it a 250, stay on for 250, and then stay off for 250. So this should be a di, da. Okay, and then it'll wait, and then it'll go di, da again. So let's do this. And here we go. Di, da. Huh? Ah, yeah, I've got to do 3 DAs, right? I got to do 3 DAs, and I did what? I did a di, but I did what? Only 1 da. So now I'm going to get that, blink, and I'm going to what? Da, and then again, da. Okay, di, da. So I've got 3 short blinks and 3 long blinks. So let's try that. And here it goes, da, da, da. Da, da. Okay, now what do I just need? I need the 3 last dididis, the 3 last short blinks. So let me just go up, and I'll go back to the top. That is a short blink. That's 1 short blink, 2 short blinks, 3 short blinks. I will copy that code, and then I will come down here. And I don't want to go after the 1,000. I want that to be the last thing. So I'll come here, and now I'm going to paste my 3 dididis. So let's look at this as we go through it. This is di. And then with the 250, that's da. And then this is what? Di. You see that? Okay, let's see if this works. All right, let's see if this works. We're on a roll now. Did-it-dit, da, did-it-dit. Did-it-dit, da, did-it-dit. Did-it-dit, da, did-it-dit. Okay, guys, boom, that really worked. All right, why did I make so many mistakes as I was showing you this? Because it's like you do what you think you do what I did, and it doesn't work, and then you think your Arduino is broken. And when you look at your code, it looks exactly right. But what I'm trying to show you is, number 1, you're going to make mistakes. Number 2, when you make mistakes, don't panic. Don't panic. When you see that you have a mistake, what you have to tell yourself is, it's not working because I made the mistake. It's not that the Arduino board is broken. It's not that Top Tech Boy doesn't know what he's talking about. It's because I made a mistake. And half the battle in troubleshooting and debugging your circuit and your code is to mentally understand that you made a mistake. And you have to find your mistake. And it might look right, but you have made a mistake. And you see those typos, they are so easy to make. So don't panic. Know that you made a mistake and then find your mistake. And that is what you need to do. Okay, guys, I hope you're having fun with these lessons. I need to give you your homework assignment for next week. And what your homework assignment is for next week, I want you to build a circuit where you have 4 LEDs, okay? If you have 4 LEDs, you are going to need what? You are going to need 4 current limiting resistors. So each LED is going to need to have its own current limiting resistors. And you're going to need to use how many of these digital pins? You're going to need to use 4 different pins. And then what I want you to do is those 4 LED, I want you to turn them all on, wait, off, wait, on, wait, off, wait. So just like we have 1 LED blinking, I want you to have 4 LEDs blinking at the same time. So all 4 come on, you wait, all 4 go off, you wait. All 4 come on, you wait, all 4 go off, you wait. Okay? And so you're going to build it. Now, also what you got to see is I want you to think through the way that you built this thing, okay? Like I've got it spread out. Do you really want 1, 2, 3, 4? Or do you want to try to think about getting those LEDs closer together, which means you got to sort of rethink how you're doing your current limiting resistor. Remember, 1,000 ohm current limiting resistor. If you've done some of this stuff before, don't go back to a 220 or a 330 for these new boards. You've really got to use a larger current limiting resistor. So that's your homework for next week. And guys, I hope you're having as much fun taking these classes as I am making them. As always, I want to give a shout out to you guys who are standing with me on Patreon. You guys are the ones that are keeping me in the game. You're the ones that are keeping this great content coming. Thank you very much. You can also help me by giving me a thumbs up. Helps me if you leave a comment down below. Helps me get a little more of the old YouTube juice when you do that. If you haven't already subscribed to the channel, when you do, make sure you ring that bell so you'll get notified when future lessons drop. And most importantly, share this video with other people because the world needs more people thinking like an engineer and fewer people sitting around watching silly cat videos. Paul McWhorter with TopTechBoy.com. I will talk to you guys later.